Hey y'all, and welcome to the Kivus Couch. I'm hanging out with baby Grogu here, and today we're going to talk about first looks and why I love them. I'm going to share a little bit about what first looks are, and then I'm going to share the top 3 reasons I think that you should do a first look at your wedding. And then interspersed among those reasons, I'm going to share photos from some of our favorite first looks so you can see all the wonderful reactions. And then let me go ahead and give you the TLDR version for people who don't want to watch the whole thing. I'll tell you what the 3 reasons are, but we're going to go really in depth. So definitely read the whole blog, watch the whole video. So the first reason is that first looks are full of emotion. I think it's the most emotional part of the wedding day. The second reason is that it might be the only one-on-one time that you have with your partner on the wedding day. And finally, number 3 is that once you see each other at the first look, the wedding day stress level goes way down, and that's priceless. So let's get started talking about first looks. So some of you might be like, wait a second, Elyssa, what even is a first look? And that's pretty easy to explain. A first look is when the couple who's getting married sees one another before the ceremony. And this is kind of a newer idea because traditionally what would happen is the groom wouldn't see the bride until she's walking down the aisle. But I want to address a couple things there. First, not every wedding has a bride and not every wedding has a groom. That's the fact of the matter. And so a lot of people feel left out of that sentence. Traditionally, the groom sees the bride when she walks down the aisle. That leaves a lot of people out, and that really sucks. The other thing is that traditions on wedding days are only as important as you make them. And I think traditions can be really important and really nice, but you should only embrace the traditions that matter to you. Don't just do something because it's a tradition. And I think in this case, a lot of our couples throw tradition to the wind and do elect to do a first look. And that's okay. Tradition is only as important as you want it to be. Reason number 1, first looks are full of emotion. I think the first look is the most true, most emotional time of the wedding day. And I think it's true regardless of the circumstances and how you're handling the wedding day. There's something so special about seeing your partner for the first time in your wedding look, knowing that this is the day we get married, this is it. And even if you know what they're wearing, it's still really special, because that's the day and it's the moment. And if you don't know what each other are wearing, then it's totally a surprise and it's even more fun. And I think people get hung up, or it's not that special because we're going to see each other the day before or that morning anyway. And I don't think that matters. John and I lived together before our wedding, and we didn't do anything different or special the night before. So we just woke up and had breakfast together and drove to the venue together. So we were only apart for a couple hours while we were getting ready, but there was still anticipation and excitement before our first look. And our first look was still full of emotion because it was the day. It was the moment. It was the wedding day. We were getting married. And so all of that emotion is in the first look. And you might be like, well, how is that any different than the aisle moment? We can still be full of emotion if I'm walking down the aisle and we're seeing each other. And that's true. You see each other and you have anticipation and a lot of emotion. But during the aisle moment, during the ceremony, you're looking at each other and you can say things with your eyes, but you can't actually say things. You walk down the aisle and then you're facing each other, and then the officiant starts talking and everybody's watching you. So you don't get to be like, oh my gosh, we're getting married. You don't get to be like, holy cow, you look amazing. This outfit is so cool. You don't get to hug each other. You don't get to really embrace it and bask in the joy because the ceremony has started and everybody's watching. So that's why the first look is really different from the ceremony, and why I think it's full of even more emotion than the ceremony. And the other thing that I'll say here is that I've never seen a first look diminish a ceremony. I think people get worried about if they have a first look, then there's not going to be any reaction or any emotion at the ceremony, that it'll ruin the ceremony moment. And I've never seen that happen. People who cry at first looks cry at the ceremony too, and people who laugh and smile and everything like that at the first look do the same thing at the ceremony. So if what you're worried about is the ceremony not being emotional because you did a first look, I wouldn't worry about that at all. I really don't think it makes a difference. First looks are a separate thing, and the ceremony is still a really special thing, and they're both full of emotion. It's just that the first look is a special kind of emotion because it's just the two of you one-on-one, and that's going to be our second reason. Reason number 2 that you should do a first look on your wedding: it might be the only one-on-one time that you get with your partner on the wedding day. Think about that. You're getting married to your favorite person, and you're not going to get to spend one-on-one time together unless you do a first look. If you think about the flow of a wedding day without a first look, what happens is you get ready, you do the ceremony, then you've got cocktail hour, and then you've got the reception. And at the getting ready, you're not with your partner. Some people do get ready together, but most often you're not with your partner. You're with your wedding party, you're with your parents, whoever's getting ready with you. During the ceremony, you're together, but you're not one-on-one. Everybody's watching you. During the reception, obviously, all your friends and family are around, and that's awesome. You invited them for a reason because you love them, and that's really great. And so that leaves cocktail hour. And what we're doing with cocktail hour is we're doing wedding party portraits, we're doing family portraits, and we're doing couple portraits. So portraits of the two of you. And yes, that's the two of you together. And yeah, it's kind of one-on-one, but it's also, the focus is on getting those portraits done so that you can get to your reception and go enjoy time with your guests. So if you want true one-on-one time where it's not really focused on portraits, it's focused on y'all interacting and you having time together to bask in the moment, then the first look is really the opportunity to do that. And if that's important to you, then I really strongly recommend the first look, because otherwise you're not going to have one-on-one time until after you've done your exit and everybody's gone home, and then you do have one-on-one time, obviously. But the first look is the way to truly embrace it on the wedding day. Reason number 3, and I think maybe the most important reason, once you see each other at the first look, the wedding day stress goes way down. And I think that is, the reasons for that are twofold, emotionally speaking and practically speaking. From an emotional perspective, if you're anything like me, you're marrying your favorite person in the world. That person is the first person you talk to every day. It's the person who calms your nerves. It's your safe harbor. It's the person, like when you're with that person, you feel grounded. And so any sort of wedding day nerves, any sort of anxieties, stress that things aren't going the way that they're supposed to be going, all of that anxious adrenaline eases as soon as you see your person. When you see them and you're like, this is the day we're getting married, all of a sudden you can relax and you can really truly start to enjoy your day. And so in my opinion, the sooner that happens, the better, because you really should be enjoying your wedding day. And so the person you're marrying is going to be the person that evens you out, is going to be the person that you can relax with. So that's the emotional reason why the stress level goes down. Practically speaking, what a first look does is it results in a timeline that is significantly less crunched. And you'll feel like there's a lot more space and a lot more time in your wedding day. Because what you can do with the first look is you do the first look a couple hours before the ceremony. And then because your family and friends are already there, like your wedding party's already there getting ready with you, usually your parents are there too. So what we can do is right after the first look, we can do wedding party portraits, and we can usually do family portraits too. So you're doing almost all of your group photos before the ceremony. And what that means is that you're not trying to crunch those in after the ceremony before the reception. And so then you've got your cocktail hour after the reception. So if you don't have to do group photos because you did them before the ceremony, then what do you do with that hour? Well, maybe you've got one or two other extended family photos you want to get, so we grab those. And maybe we want to do another 20 minutes of couple portraits because it's closer to sunset. And now we've got like the just married couple portraits. So, but even if you do those after the ceremony, that's only, 20 minutes. So you've still got 40 minutes to go enjoy the cocktail hour that you've planned and mingle and have fun with your guests. So you've created this extra block of time that you wouldn't have had otherwise because you've created time before the ceremony to get a bunch of group photos done. And the other thing about that is that the group photos are more fun before the ceremony because everybody's super hype about the ceremony. Everybody's full of excitement. Everybody knows y'all just saw each other. There's all this excitement around the group photos. And there's also not, a planner or a DJ coming to be like, y'all have only got 5 minutes left. We need to hurry this up because we got to get to your reception. The reception's going to start. So it makes the timeline run so much more smooth and it feels significantly less rushed. So not only are you creating a more flexible, breathable timeline, but you're creating more time for portraits with a first look. So yeah, that's reason number 3 is bringing that stress level way down, because the first look really transforms the wedding day. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the top 3 reasons I think you should consider doing a first look. And if it's still not your cup of tea, that's totally fine. I definitely understand that some couples are really invested in that aisle moment, and I get it, and that's totally your prerogative. It's your wedding day. But I just wanted to share the reasons that I love first looks, because they are a newer thing, and not everybody really understands the benefits. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of my favorite first look moments throughout the years. And definitely feel free to reach out with any questions about whether or not you think it's the right fit for you on the wedding day. We can't wait for it.